in the shadowed annals of history, where the fates of empires are written in ink and blood, lie the personal stories of those who build nations with their bare hands and unwavering spirit. This is the tale of the king's daughters, the French filles du roi, a chapter etched into the very soul of New France. Welcome to the first episode of our series, The King's Daughters Filles du Roi of New France. The mid-17th century was a time of stark contrasts. In France, the court of the Sun King, Louis XIV, gleamed with unparalleled opulence, a beacon of gold and light. Yet, beyond its gilded gates, in the grim alleyways of Paris and in the desolate orphanages of Rouen, a different reality festered. It was from these depths of poverty and uncertainty that nearly 800 young women would be found. The stroke of a royal pen forever altered their destinies. Between the years 1663 and 1673, they embarked on a perilous journey across the vast, unforgiving Atlantic, bound for a wilderness known as New France. They were to be part of a grand, desperate scheme, sponsored by their king, to populate a fledgling colony on the brink of collapse. These women, known to history as the filles du roi, or the king's daughters, they were not royalty, but pioneers, sent to build a new world from the ashes of their old lives. The program was born of necessity, a calculated response to a demographic crisis that threatened to extinguish the French presence in North America. The colony of New France was a rugged, masculine domain, a world of soldiers, fur trappers, and hardy farmers. Men outnumbered women by a staggering margin, creating an unstable society, transient and utterly devoid of the familial foundation needed for permanent settlement. Without wives and mothers, there would be no new generation of French subjects born on Canadian soil. The colony was withering. King Louis XIV and his minister Jean-Baptiste Colbert understood this grim calculus. Their solution was audacious. They would sponsor the passage of single, marriageable women to the New World. Recruitment focused on the urban, impoverished. Most of the daughters of the king were orphans from charitable institutions like the Heppedo, General Depardieu, or young women with no family and no prospects. They were chosen for their health, their piety, and their perceived moral character, deemed suitable for the harsh realities of colonial life. In an era when a woman's future was dictated by her dowry, this royal patronage was a lifeline. King Louis XIV himself funded their perilous voyage, bestowing upon each woman a trousseau with essential items. Most importantly, a royal dowry of around 50 livres. It was a modest sum, but it transformed them from destitute charges of the state into women of means. Upon their arrival in the burgeoning settlements of Quebec, Trois-Rivières, and Montreal, they were granted a remarkable and unprecedented freedom, the right to choose their own husbands from the scores of eager suitors. In this wild new land, for the first time in their lives, their future was their own to command. The impact of this decade-long program was nothing short of monumental. It was the vital infusion that the colony so desperately needed. The arrival of the filles du roi dramatically balanced the gender ratio, leading to a surge in marriages and, consequently, a population boom. Within a few years, the landscape of New France was transformed. The lonely outposts of bachelors gave way to thriving parishes, centered around family and church. These women, once a forgotten class in France, became the matriarchs of a new society. They are often called the mothers of a nation, and for good reason. It is estimated that a vast majority of French Canadians today can trace their lineage back to at least one of these courageous 800 women. Their legacy is not written in grand stone monuments, but in the enduring bloodlines and cultural fabric of Quebec. They laid the very foundation of French-Canadian society, a testament to resilience forged in the crucible of the New World. The deep genealogical quest of author inspired these many Sharon DesRuisseaux and the extensive research undertaken for her literary historical fiction novel, The Point of No Return, which is available on Audible and Amazon. You can explore a playlist of similar, historically themed videos on her YouTube channel, which is also named after the novel, for those with a taste for the macabre and mysteria. The author has also penned a gothic ghost story, a tenacious grasp on reality. It has its own YouTube channel featuring playlists of very spooky themed videos. Until next time.